Okay, picture this. You're on some amazing beach, maybe sipping something cool, right? The kind you see online all the time. And then your phone buzzes. Not your boss, nope. It's a notification. Money just showed up in your bank account, like automatically. That's the dream, isn't it? That whole passive income thing we see everywhere, quitting the job, living free, cash rolling in while you sleep. Sounds perfect, but, and this is a big but, here's the part most people just, well, conveniently forget to mention.
Yeah, they really do. That shiny picture, it skips the hard part. What we found looking through everything is that passive income, I mean, it sounds great, but it doesn't start out passive at all.
Yeah.
No, that first bit, it's usually a ton of work. You've got to put in serious effort, maybe take some, calculated risks, plan things out really carefully. It's more like building something piece by piece, actively, not just flipping a switch.
Right. It's like you need the blueprint and the hammer and nails first. Lots of them. So today, we're really going to get into this whole path to passive income. Our goal here is to cut through the hype, Get past the get rich quick noise and look at the real strategies. We want to help you get a much clearer, more actionable idea of what it actually takes. Less sizzle, more steak, basically.
Okay, so let's unpack that. If it's not really passive right from day one, what's the real journey? What does it look like? How do you actually go from, like, trading your time for money to having these income streams? Our research points to a pretty consistent formula, actually, a kind of step-by-step process that honestly doesn't get talked about enough.
It's almost deceptively simple on the surface, but it needs real discipline consistently. It basically boils down to 4 steps. First, well, you need to make money. Usually that's your job, right? Or maybe a business you already have, some kind of active income. That's the engine for everything else.
Okay, makes sense. Step one, have income coming in. Step two, you absolutely have to spend less than you earn. And this isn't just about like cutting coupons. It's about intentionally creating a gap, a surplus. That extra cash every month is crucial.
The fuel for step 3, I guess?
Exactly. Step three is taking that extra money, that surplus, and putting it into things specifically chosen because they're designed to make more money for you. These are your investments, your assets, the things that will eventually, hopefully, work for you.
Okay, earn, save, invest. Seems straightforward enough until step 4, right? Because this is where I think a lot of people might just drift off or lose steam. The sources really emphasize this part.
Oh, absolutely. Step four is do steps one, two, and three over and over and over again. Keep earning, keep saving that difference, keep putting it into those income generating things. You keep doing that cycle until those things, those assets you've built up, actually start paying you more than your main job does.
Wow, okay. So it's definitely not a one-shot deal. It's a process, a long one potentially.
It's totally iterative. That's
Yeah.
the key. It's not magic, it's a practice. You're building a system. And eventually that system starts working for you, so you're not always trading hours for dollars. It changes your whole relationship with money and time. It's pretty profound, actually.
So let's make this more concrete. How does this formula actually, play out in the real world? Our research turned up a few main ways people put this into action. Let's look at some examples, maybe spark some ideas for you listening.
Okay, yeah. One big one, maybe less flashy than others, but really solid, is investing in dividend stocks.
Mm.
The idea here is simple. You own shares in certain companies, and because you're an owner, they pay you a part of their profits, usually every quarter.
Like getting paid just for owning a piece of the company?
Exactly. And the beauty, according to our sources, is that once you've done your homework, picked the stocks, and bought them, there's not a lot of active day-to-day work. You do the research up front, make the investment, and then the system, well, it kind of runs itself. This makes it really good for long-term growth, and importantly for that consistent cash flow hitting your account without you actively working for it at that moment.
That really fits the build a system idea, doesn't it? The initial work is the selection. The smarts are up front. You mentioned careful selection, though. Did the research suggest like specific types of companies are better for this, or is it more about just finding solid businesses?
It leans more towards the company's fundamentals. Generally, you're looking at established companies, often leaders in their industries, maybe utilities, consumer goods, sometimes even big tech firms. The key is a history of not just paying dividends, but ideally increasing them over time. It shows financial health and a commitment to returning value to shareholders. Less about the industry, more about the company's quality and stability. That upfront diligence is critical.
Got it. Okay, so dividend stocks are one path. What's another major route people take?
Another really popular one, maybe the one people visualize most, is cash flowing real estate. So owning property, a house, an apartment building, whatever, where The rent you collect from tenants covers all your costs.
Mortgage, taxes, insurance, repairs.
Right, all of it. And there's still profit left over each month. That's your cash flow. The idea is simple. Tenants pay rent, you make money. It's a tangible asset.
Okay, but real estate sounds like it could involve, well, work. Calls about leaky faucets at midnight, finding renters.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not always completely hands-off, especially at first.
Yeah.
You might need to manage repairs, screen tenants, deal with leases. But, and this is crucial for the passive aspect, you can build a system here too. You can hire a property manager. They handle the day-to-day stuff, the tenant calls, the maintenance coordination. That lets you delegate the active work and makes the income much more passive.
Ah, okay. So you outsource the hassle.
Pretty much. Now, the big hurdle for a lot of people with real estate is, understandably, getting the money together to buy the property in the first place. That down payment can be significant.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It is. But the sources do point out there are various ways to approach it. Traditional mortgages, sure, but also things like house hacking, where you live in one part of a property and rent out the rest, or even getting involved with smaller amounts through real estate and crowdfunding platforms. So options exist, though getting the capital is definitely a challenge.
This really does show that build the system idea clearly. You put in the capital, the effort to find the deal, set up management, and then it becomes an income engine. But what about those property managers? Sounds great, but did the research mention any potential pitfalls? Like, what if you hire a bad one?
Oh, definitely. That came up. A good property manager is worth their weight in gold for making it passive, but a bad one. They can cause huge headaches. Poor tenant screening leading to vacancies or evictions, neglecting maintenance, which gets expensive, not communicating well. It can actually cost you money and turn your passive investment back into a very active problem.
So that meticulous care you mentioned earlier applies to picking your manager too, not just the property.
Exactly. You still need oversight. It's your asset, your responsibility ultimately.
Okay, so we have stocks, we have real estate. What's the third major avenue?
The third one is owning a business, or maybe more specifically relevant today, creating and selling digital products or content. Think online courses, ebooks, maybe software, or even like a YouTube channel or blog that earns ad revenue over time.
Stuff you create once and can sell over and over.
Kinda, yeah. Now, the sources are pretty clear on this. This route often has the highest potential income ceiling. You could potentially make the most money here.
Okay, that sounds appealing.
But, and it's a significant but,
Mm.
it almost always takes the most work up front, by far. Building a business from scratch, developing a really good course people want to buy, creating content consistently that attracts an audience. It takes an incredible amount of time, energy, skill, hundreds, maybe thousands of hours initially.
Right. You're not just buying an asset, you're building the entire asset and the system around it.
Precisely. You're everything at the start. Founder, marketer, creator, customer service, all of it. The payoff, though, is that as it grows, you can design it to become more passive. You can automate things, use software, hire virtual assistants, build a team, eventually maybe even bring in someone to manage the whole operation. So you transition from working in the business constantly to working on the business strategically. That's the path to making it more passive over time.
Okay, wow. Stocks, real estate, building a business, or digital products, they sound quite different, but that common thread seems to be that initial intense effort.
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, what does it really mean for you listening if you're interested in this? How should you think about passive income?
Yeah, it forces a bit of a redefinition, doesn't it? Away from the do-nothing, get-rich fantasy. What passive income really means, based on everything we've looked at, is building systems. Systems that let you earn money without always having to trade your time directly for it. It's about setting things up, whether it's investments or a business structure, so they can operate, at least partly, without your constant hands-on effort.
So you're the architect, not necessarily the person laying every single brick forever.
Exactly. You still need to think, plan, oversee, take smart risks, maybe tweak the system now and then. That never totally disappears. But it fundamentally breaks that direct link, working 1 hour to earn 1 hour's worth of pay. It frees up your time and energy. That's the real power.
So bringing it all together then, the reality of passive income isn't some magical, instant windfall. It's not like finding a winning lottery ticket on the street. It's much more about that strategic, deliberate, upfront effort, committing to building something solid, a system that works. It's like planting a seed versus expecting a full-grown tree tomorrow. There's that essential period of growth of investment before you get the real benefit.
Absolutely. And understanding that, embracing that initial effort, that's the key to unlocking the real freedom that passive income can offer. It's about changing your whole relationship with how you earn money and how you value your time, moving from being just a cog in the machine to being the designer of the machine. That mental shift is huge.
Hmm, that really leaves us with a question for you listening, doesn't it? Now that you know the real path involves that significant upfront work, that building phase, where could you maybe start building one of these systems in your own life? What's one small, consistent step you could take, starting maybe even today? Could it be, I don't know, researching some of those dividend companies, looking into your local real estate market, maybe just outlining an idea for a digital product? Because that first step, understanding the effort involved, that's where the real journey begins. It might be the hardest part, but it could also be the start of building something truly transformative for your future, something to think about.